say some days you're gonna win. They say some days you're gonna lose. I tell you, I got news for you. You're losing all the time, you never win. No. If you believe that's how it's gonna be, I better put you down. Your reputation must have come out on the ground. You gotta save me now. You better turn around. And I looked around. I was heading down. Oh, somebody throw me down the line. This is some days you gotta give. This is some days you gotta take. That's the way it's gotta be. Roll it over and you will see. The city streets are full of people going nowhere, making time. To change from night to day is really only out just along the line.
Good morning, my friends. Thursday. We're here. And I started a little bit late, hoping that the construction process right next to me that you can probably hear would stop. But we're here now. Hey, we got a great show for all of you. Going to be talking to Dustin Terry in a couple of minutes. He was one of the champions last year in the F1 Powerboat circuit, and then also won the Alton race. So we're going to talk to him on the road to the F1 Classic. This is going to be really cool. The Alton Midwest Nationals last year brought out a great crowd. This year you're going to hear that excitement again. And then at 10:30, Sydney Sinks is going to join us. They're actually right around 10:10, and we're going to get everything moving today. But man, I don't know about you. My sinuses are just kicking my butt today. I don't know. I feel like Mike Tyson just knocked me out or something, but we'll keep each other occupied. I'm just glad the drilling stopped so I can hear my own thoughts. Here's what you need to know on this Thursday morning. It is the 10th day of July. Make sure you sign up for that daily email update. You'll never miss out. You can join myself and 70,000 people that are in the know each and every day of the work week and on Saturdays with Around the Riverbend. We'll take you into Granite City first. President Donald Trump announced a revised partnership agreement between U.S. Steel and Nippon Steel, officially closing the acquisition on June the 18th. The deal includes commitments to keep the U.S. Steel headquarters in Pittsburgh, maintain an American CEO, and ensure the U.S. majority board representation alongside a $14 billion U.S. investment pledge. However, Granite City officials and Illinois legislators expressed concern over the future of the local U.S. Steel plant. Mayor Michael Parkinson's and state legislators Amy Ellick and Erica Harris have called on President Trump to secure clear investment plans and job restoration for the Granite City area, emphasizing the community's economic struggles and the need for modernization. Congresswoman Budzinski demands at least $500 million be allocated to Granite City works upgrades, warning that current proposals fail to meet collective bargaining standards. And as the acquisition proceeds, Granite City steelworkers and leaders remain vigilant, seeking assurances that investment and jobs will be preserved in the evolving American steel industry. We'll keep you updated when more details do emerge on the future of Granite City Steel. The Alton Police Department and Madison County State's Attorney's Office have made significant progress in the investigation into the July 4th homicide of 17-year-old Shabrea Hudson. On July the 8th, authorities have arrested 20-year-old Tamadre C. Bollinger, who now faces 2 counts of first-degree murder and aggravated discharge of a firearm. Additionally, 44-year-old Brashonda D. Colley was charged with obstructing justice and subsequently released per arrest warrant terms. The police department continues to work tirelessly with prosecutors to ensure all involved are held accountable. Chief Ford emphasized the team's dedication for justice, and all defendants, we want to remind the public, are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. A GoFundMe campaign is currently raising funds to support Drew Cummines and his 3 young children after the tragic death of Taylor in a car accident on Illinois Route 111 near Medora on the 7th of July. Taylor is a devoted mother to Finley, Bodie, and Loveland, and was described as an incredible woman who did everything for her children. The fundraiser is organized by family friend Emily Jackson and aims to provide financial assistance for the children's futures with through a trust and to cover unexpected expenses. The family is facing the challenges of adjusting to life without Taylor, a beloved mother, sister, and friend. You can see that link on the GoFundMe at RiverBender.com/news. Paul Abert, the market president of Madison County for the Bank of Madison County and longtime Edwardsville community member, is eagerly anticipating the 14th edition of the Edwardsville Futures Tennis Tournament from July the 8th to August the 3rd. As treasurer of the event, he highlights the tournament's impressive growth and significant economic impact, which is surpassing $250,000 annually in local hotel, food, and beverage revenues. The tournament, uniquely hosted entirely at Edwardsville High School Tennis Center, draws players, coaches, and fans showcasing the city and school district. He invites everyone to attend this exciting week of professional tennis and community celebration. You can see more on that story at RiverBender.com/news. Finally, in the news today, the Jersey County Fair has started strong this year despite some rain delays along the way, including the postponed parade. Fair President Phil Ringhausen reported that the recent events, such as the free grandstand concert and livestock shows, went smoothly. Tonight features the Fair Queen pageant with 16 Little Miss and 6 senior contestants competing in that. Thursday is also bringing an upgraded rodeo with a new promoter that's going to offer a wider range of events. That sounds fun. Friday and Saturday will highlight the thrilling tractor pull competitions, including a kids pedal tractor pull and the Saturday night shootout. Sunday promises family fun with the Power Wheel Derby and the Demo Derby, both starting earlier to boost participation. Attendees can also enjoy Tinsley Amusements' renowned rides, fair food, and canine stunt show, and even the fan favorite pig races. I'm in for that one. A notable change for 2025 is the talent show moving to Sunday night to accommodate contestant schedules, and the shift will likely to continue in future fairs. More details and schedules are available on the Jersey County Fair website and on their official Facebook page. Let's go ahead and take a check at weather. It's 80 degrees in downtown Alton. It feels like 96 today, mostly sunny with a thunderstorm in spots this afternoon. Tonight, clear and humid. Air quality, grass, mold, ragweed, and tree levels are all in that good to low range, so nothing to report. Temperatures reach 90 degrees today, drop down to 71 overnight, but the chance of thunderstorms happens for the next couple of days. On Friday, 7-11, a high of 93, a low of 72 degrees, and then on Saturday, a high of 84, a low of 70. On Sunday, partly sunny skies, a high of 82, a low of 69 degrees, and then on Monday, we start our week with a high of 87 and a low of 70. That's a look at the next 5 days. But here's what's happening now. It's 80 degrees in downtown Alton, and it feels like 96 out there. For time and temperature throughout the day, 618-465-4545. This time powered by Bounce Back Rehab, Recover, Return Home. We're going to take a quick break, come back, talk to Dustin Terry, all things F1 Powerboat racing. And, hopefully I can hear myself think right after this quick break on RiverBender.com and Roku TV.
Attila Fest is coming to Alton Amphitheater on July 26th. Presented by D. Smith Promotions, hosted by Reason to Doubt Podcast. Don't miss your chance to see Big Boogie and Boozy Badass live on stage with special guests Dirty Muggs, Borderline, Marquise Knox, and NKG Band. For VIP and slots, call Queen at 314-967-8999. Attila Fest. Don't miss it. Village Dispensary has the best deals in Godfrey, Illinois with specials 5 days a week. Mondays, roll in the week with 20 to 30% off select pre-rolls. Tasty Tuesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select edibles. Waxy Wednesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select concentrate and vape brands. Thirsty Thursdays, sip and save with 20 to 30% off all drinks. Flower Friday, grab like 3.5 gram flower deals starting at just $20. Village Dispensary, come meet your best buds.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
The perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong.
Welcome back to Our Daily Show. Coming up in just a couple of, days. We're getting close, couple of weeks. The Alton Midwest Nationals last year was such an exciting event. We were just talking to Tim and a little bit of the crew a couple weeks ago, and now the road to F1 starts now on Our Daily Show. Really excited to have Dustin Terry on the show. Good morning, man. How are we doing?
Good. How's it going?
Well, man, this is exciting. I know that there's a lot of people that are ready to watch you guys go back out there again, and to see it last year was just one of those kind of first-time things for me, and it just blew me away that, I mean, you guys are flying in there, and the training that you got to do has got to be pretty intense.
Yeah, it's just something that I don't know. I've just kind of come accustomed to, but man, being in Alton last year, it was hot. Surprisingly, I figure I'm from South Louisiana and we're used to heat, and wasn't expecting it to be that hot. And then the Mississippi River there is fast currents and debris that you got to dodge and all that. It ended up being a really, really challenging race, but a fun one.
Well, and now you ended up winning last year, correct?
Yeah, that's the trophy over here.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so yeah, I ended up I guess getting lucky and with a little bit of skill. A couple guys broke earlier in the weekend, gave me some good qualifying, and yeah, I ended up taking the win, man. It was an exciting weekend.
Well, and what goes through your mind, when you're in the water at that point? It's just time to get, grip it and rip it in a way. What's that focus look like for you? Is there any type of mindset or any type of pre-racing mentality that you try to get into before you hit go?
Yeah, I'm not really a superstitious guy, but I do have kind of a mental routine to calm myself down a little bit. So you don't focus on all these outside things around you. You might be looking at a log in the water, you might be looking at somebody up in the stands, and I just try to stay focused on what's going on inside the cockpit, be very much in the moment, and pay attention to the boat. Just make sure I'm going over everything, my start sequence, just so you don't lose concentration for a split second and then forget to turn on a fuel pump or forget to turn on something that you got to do, or not paying attention to, you might not have had something latched right or whatever. Anything to throw you off your game can be detrimental whenever you competing at those speeds.
Well, and before we go back into the race day, take me into how you got into racing in general. Was this something that was started, that was a family tradition in a way that you guys done, or was this something that you found?
No, my dad did it back in the 80s, and then we were out of it for a number of years. And then whenever I got to be 19, the series, you have Tim Siebold and John Schubert, who are the series directors. John Schubert loaned me a boat to try it out, that tri-hole class that you see the guys jumping around and beating each other up. So I came in, tried that out, did it for a few years, was very successful at it. And then natural progression, went up to Formula One, and now I'm here, man, still chasing the dream, almost 40 years old, and still going at it strong. My son is actually going to be racing for the first time This season he just started in the tri-hole class. He's only 14, and he'll be racing in Alton with me.
That's awesome, man. And to have that family connection there and that family dynamic's got to be something that's going to be really special for you guys to be a part of on your journey, but for fans to kind of watch and follow along with too. That's exciting.
Yeah, I've been dreaming about it forever, just getting to race with him, and then now that we're doing it together, it's just the kind of memories that not a lot of people get to experience, and the fact that I get to do it, I feel very fortunate. And then seeing him out there is something special to me, and then getting to travel with him.
Right.
Going to see towns that, not saying that Alton isn't, a huge destination across, people across the country, but going into towns like that is really cool, because now I got to experience all kinds of stuff last year. The world's tallest man lived there and everything else, and I went and checked out breweries and stuff. So I'm excited to go back to the town, not only just to do that, but to take my son out into the town and show him those places and get to try some new experiences. And it's just cool. Along the map, you get to say, man, there's a great town right here. Let's pull over and get something.
Well, and that's what kind of leads me into a little bit more of just the race and Alton specific questions. Is you kind of hit on it. Is there towns like Alton that are unique to really stop, that you guys are kind of looking to go go and experience a little bit whenever you're on the tournament series? Do you sit there and go, man, I really can't wait to check out Alton again, or anywhere else again? Is there a couple of towns for you?
Yeah, Alton was huge for us last year. Before we knew it, the local casino had, wages you could place on the race, and so all of a sudden, all my buddies around the country who didn't come to that race, they were bummed out, because it was all these new experiences that they had. And man, the music that was there last year was, I mean, just kind of blew my mind. Some of the people that y'all had, people that I still follow and listen to, that got added to my playlist this year. It's in my boat race playlist, and Alden was a huge highlight for me. There's a lot of cities that are like that can be surprising. You have cities sometimes that can let you down. There's not a lot to do in the town, and so when Alton pops up and we're right there on the water, ton of fans show up, and then in the evening we just went right across the railroad tracks and got something great to eat. And places like that make it awesome, because we're so busy, we don't get to do a lot. So the fact that everything is right there along the water makes it a great time for the whole entire team.
Well, and honestly, man, that's what I like to hear too. Is because from what all I heard too is that everyone really just enjoyed their stay in Alton. Just from some of the folks that I talked to that were a part of the races. What makes the Alton course unique is being on the river. I know you said that the portion of the Mississippi that we're on up here. Is it a little bit more challenging, or is it a little bit easier whenever you're out there? What's the uniqueness to the Alton course?
Well, the Mississippi River is always challenging. I That's the first time I've gotten to actually race on it. The current is ripping, so that's something that just is always unsettling. It makes the boat a little unpredictable whenever you have to go into turns where water's pushing at that speed. Hopefully this year a little bit less debris in the water, but it doesn't matter. We're still going to put on a show no matter what. But I really liked it there. Being challenging just is kind of a scary thing, but
Hmm.
man, whenever you get out there and the amount of boats that y'all had lining the whole entire outside of the course, it's just kind of like these people came for a show, so we're gonna go all out and put on a show for them.
I love it, man. Well, take me through your team a little bit, and the crew, if you will. And how do you guys prepare the boats? What's that process look like?
Well, it's a crazy process of I have a huge team, the Outlaw team, and we've got four different F1 boats. We got
Wow.
5 different tri-hole drivers. It's all based out of Richmond, Texas. I'm down in South Louisiana, but it's about a 4 or 5 hour drive for me to go over to the team's site there and work on stuff. But it's kind of chaotic, man. It's everybody's having to help each other, because these aren't teams with a huge staff or anything like that. This is kind of guys that all have to help each other out to get onto the course. And so we just found that having a bigger number of teams and having more drivers on the team just in a weird way has helped us out to have more hands to help and bring more people in. But yeah, you got to rely on family members, you got to rely on friends, and we're doing really well in the series this year. Our team is 1-2 right now in the points.
Wow.
We're doing well in Tri-Hole as well. We're leading that class too. It's wild, man. It's a wild time for our team.
Well, it's an exciting time too. And now, did you won the series last year too, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I just by a couple of points, and
Wow.
Alton was crucial. I got really good points by winning that race, and then yeah, it just set me up for a good scenario for the final race of the year. So yeah, I'm the points champion last year, and it all has been riding since Alton. Alton was my little lucky place, so I'm hoping to come back and repeat.
I hope you do too. This is just going to be really, really a good weekend. And what I think's great is just to see all the excitement, like you said, from people in the boats that were lining up and down the river, really just excited and ready to be out there with you guys and to feel the waves a little bit. It's a really unique feeling. Now, Tim was telling me that your guys' boats are like what, a foot in the water at most.
Yeah. The whole thing is controlling the flight of it.
Wow.
It's just you just barely touching the water on each sponson, and you can watch us whenever we come out of the turn there in Alton. I mean, there's very little of the boat left in the water, and really only half the propeller. It's all about getting rid of that hydrodynamic drag off of the boat to get a high speed, and then dropping it back down into the water and using that to help it turn fast like it does. So
How long did it take your body to get used to that? You know, like and just the force of that boat, because that's just a remarkable amount of strength on that.
yeah, it's one thing that a couple days after the race you're gonna be sore all throughout your neck, and
Oh, I bet.
yeah, and you're gonna have different parts of your body that over time you get used to how to drive the boat a certain way and how to make yourself comfortable. But if you're not fit into your seat just right, if there's any room to slide around or wiggle, you're gonna end up beating yourself up inside of the boat. So we've got Hans devices to hold our necks in place and everything, and all those things kind of help out with staying put in the boat. But yeah, you go through some turns, and the first couple of the weekend, it'll make you dizzy a little bit. All the blood rushes to one side of your face, and but as the weekend goes on, you just tend to get used to it, and you find yourself wanting to push it harder and harder. But yeah, it's a weird thing to talk about and try to help people to understand what it feels like. It's like nothing else.
Well, and that's what I was kind of getting at, wanting to get at too, when it comes to watching the races in person, because I've seen the feeds and they're great, you know, the great shots and they're really cool to watch. But to me, this is something that if you haven't gone yet, you have to see it in person to really experience it. Am I onto something there?
Yeah, you're not gonna see anything turn that fast in your life. And then, knock on wood, I'm hoping not to be the guy, but you always see some wild crashes. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's inevitable. There's almost something every weekend, so we're not big fans of the crashing part, but it's something that if you haven't seen it, it's pretty wild to see in real life, and then see a driver come popping out of the water. And I don't know, man. It's to line up all those boats at one time, and then everybody starts their motor at the same time, and then you can't see any drivers through the rooster tails and any of that, and then all of a sudden you just see guys pop out, and it's a very, very unique experience, and it's what got me hooked as a kid, going and watching it. Now here I am all these years later getting to run it and race it.
Well, it's just cool, man. And to hear a little bit more about your story, and the best of luck for your son too. And I hope he has a great season, and you guys just keep having fun out there and just keep being successful. And really, I hope to see you in a couple of weeks and you're going for a two-peater. Two's true. You know what I'm saying, Dustin? Two's true, and
Yeah.
I think you got a good shot at it. What's your final thought about the tournament and just the weekend in Alton before I let you go for now?
Well, look, I'm just excited. Hopefully, there was a lot of great sponsors last year. I think it's amazing the way that that community is completely behind it. And I think whenever we see communities that support big events like that, they end up seeing growth year after year. And so I'm excited to see some of the same personalities. Got to meet the mayor last year and everything. So I'm just excited to come back, see everybody, and hope everybody's still rooting for us. And seeing a top 3 is all I'm ever aiming for at these races. So if you see me get that, then I'll be pumped, and hopefully see my son get a top 3. He's working on it. So that's all we're shooting for.
There you go. Hey, best of luck with it, and I want to thank Great Rivers and Routes too for providing us, this partnership with us to bring on interviews like the one we just had with you, Dustin, and we can keep doing this until the Alton Midwest Nationals in a couple of weeks. Best of luck. We'll take a quick break. More Daily Show on this Thursday morning. It continues next right after this in the heart of the 618.
Oh no, another bad headache? Yeah. Maybe it's time to see your doctor.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including diagnosing health issues or referring you to a specialist. Schedule an appointment today.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop at their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and it will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today. You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
But I don't drink whiskey. I don't know how it feels to hurt. But I ain't been lonely.
10:12. Welcome back. Daily Show on a Tuesday morning, the 8th day of July. Randy, this is the first time you've been on this side.
I'm usually on the other side of the glass listening to my coworkers being interviewed.
When you hear me go, Randy, is it hot out there or anything like that? It's Randy's because he's OSF's on deck and he's always there wrangling them in. But this is, really cool. I got this flyer sent to me a couple of days ago about the back to school event that you guys put on. And Dwight and Cheryl Wirtz have been just fantastic from all accounts to do this.
Absolutely.
But man, there were so many kids last year, so many families. Number one, it shows that the event's needed, but also it just shows, how many, people you're able to reach and just showcase, some good community spirit.
Absolutely. So our back to school event will be Saturday, August 2nd this year. The third year in a row, it'll be out at Alton Square Mall. And so the first year it was at the hospital. And then we moved it out to the Alton Square Mall because we were doing some construction in a parking lot. And it was actually a good thing by accident because from year one to last year, our attendance has increased by 60%. So it went from 500 in year one to 800 last year. And it's great. The mall gives us, it's a great location. We have vendors outside, we have vendors inside. Mm-hmm. And so the community has responded well to the event.
And now take me through this. So how does it work? Do we need to bring any paperwork or anything with us when we go with the kiddos? Any requirements like that? And then what can we grab?
Absolutely. No paperwork at all.
That's cool.
You just show up, kids, mom and dads, parents, grandparents, whoever. We will give out school supply or bags full of school supplies to the first 500 students ages 4 to 12. Mm-hmm. And then we're providing lunch as well. This year it's a pizza lunch.
There you go. You can't go wrong with pizza.
Slice of pizza. We're working with Little Caesars this year. So slice of pizza, chips, cookies, bottle of water.
That's awesome.
And 2 hours of fun. This year, we have, again, more than 20 vendors who will be on site, 5 first-time vendors, and that's wonderful. Those first-timers, City of Alton Parks and Rec.
That's cool.
Alton Blue Wave Martial Arts Studio. The River Dragons will be out there. We'll have a second Lewis and Clark Community College presence, and then Community Hope Center. You know,
Wow.
and you know, some holdovers from previous years. We'll have Alton School District will be out there. They are a great resource. We have so many parents and students who have questions,
Right.
whether it's registration or just general questions. The school district has been a great partner for us.
Well, and honestly, not to cut you, I like
Yeah.
the school district being there because, you know, we've all been to school registrations and how much of a monster those are in themselves.
absolutely.
And to have it where, I mean, there's still going to be a lot of people, but more time to really ask questions that you really need answered. This is really nice.
It is. It's great. I mean, again, the school district from year one, they've been a great partner, and it is a great resource.
Yeah.
I mean, all of our vendor tables, they all get visited, but there is always constant activity at the school district table. So they've been wonderful. We got Madison County Sheriff's Department, first responders from Alton Fire and Alton Police. A lot of our departments will be out there. OSF Medical Group, OSF On Call, Hainer Library. It's great. And the list goes on and on.
Well, and honestly, I just think it's so cool that, you know, these families are able to be provided for like that. Because, I mean, right now, especially when you look at those requirements for some of the back to school items, you know, it's not because the classrooms don't need it. It's just, man, that gets expensive really quick, especially with 2 and 3 kids.
Exactly. Yes, it can. But, and I know there are a bunch of other back to school events in and around the Riverbend area, which is awesome. And so, again, the community has reacted really well to our event. And the time goes, it takes a lot to plan.
Oh, I bet.
But the day of, from the time we start setting up at 8 o'clock until the time we tear down, it goes by fast.
Now, so let's say this. Let's say, you know, there's a mom with 2 kids in the school district. Can both of those kids, if they're in the first 500, receive that item?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
The first 500 between the ages of 4 and 12.
That's really cool.
Absolutely.
And now, has Dwight and Cheryl been along for the entire ride on this?
Yes, sir. They have
just fantastic.
Wonderful supporters. They come out. They just the smiles on their faces, no more than they step outside their vehicles when they get there. It's wonderful. Not only are they interacting with us and our fellow mission partners, but a lot of the attendees as well and the vendors. It's great. Just absolutely wonderful.
And it's got to be great for the team members at OSF to have a day where you guys can really just be a part of the community a little bit, you know?
Oh, absolutely. We have a lot of, you know, all of our departments get involved. They have great activities. I know the lab comes out, they've brought microscopes and you know, recent years. So kids are able to see specimens under a microscope. Our radiology department comes out. They're teaching the kids about, you know, x-rays and other things within the imaging world. Our nursing departments come out. They have great interactive educational and informational activities. Our dietary department comes out. They provide food, nutrition, information, not just for the kids, but that's also for the adults as well.
Yeah.
So,
well, now is this Zach's first year with the event, or did he join? Oh, okay.
Yeah. He just joined us officially back in January.
That's what I was wondering. Okay.
Yep. So this will be his first year. That's right.
So this will be really cool for the new president to be a part of this, because this is a big, big thing.
Oh yeah. He's involved in all of our planning meetings, and
that's awesome, man.
He's taking it in, and I remember our first planning meeting back in March, and he was just amazed at how well the event has run, but then also how well it's grown in just the 3 years.
It's not easy, especially with your types of vendors. I mean, especially like with the sheriff's department and first responders. I mean, those schedules are all, you know, moving at different times. And so to get them on board, but also to curate this to be for what families need is the big thing, because you can have a bunch of vendors, but these are all tailor-made for really information for those families, whether it's for, you know, health and safety or knowledge on resources, or really just learning about other community initiatives and community features and assets too. That's big.
Oh, absolutely. Right. So the Madison County Sheriff's Department, the fire department, and the Alton Police Department, they bring out some of their vehicles. You know, they show them off. The kids take pictures. They get to see inside, like, you know, a lot of other opportunities, events around the community. But to your point, Centerstone comes out. They're a great resource. They've been involved from year one. First Mid-America Credit Union, they're out there, again, providing games and interactive activities, but they're also providing information on financial services, but then also, how to manage money, stuff like that. So, and Hainer Library is out there. It's at the mall. Their table is literally right outside their front door.
That's what I was going to ask. So where are the vending spots going to be? On the second deck or on the...
They're on both floors.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so with our registration tent is right outside the OSF rehab entrance.
Gotcha.
And people, they sign up right there. The fire trucks, police vehicles, the school bus are outside. Everyone else is inside. And so there's a lot. I mean, there's some people who stick around the whole 2 hours, which is great.
Right.
So there's a lot of opportunity, on a Saturday morning. It's a couple weeks before school. Who wants to hear about going back to school in the middle of July? But unfortunately,
right.
I hate to break it to people, but with
right
parents
around
and students,
the corner.
School is six weeks away. My wife has been a lifelong educator, and she's back at work.
Oh no,
she doesn't like it one bit. So,
so it brings up a good point. Do not call us on the. Don't call us on the second for a bunch of first responders at Alton Square Mall. I think that's a good disclaimer.
Right? No, yeah. I mean, if they have to go to a call, that's totally fine. Yeah. I mean, and I also want to mention Survival Flight.
Oh yeah, they're great.
So as long as the helicopter is available, they'll bring out the helicopter. So we're looking for a great day. I know it's in August. It's going to be warm, but the event's held inside and outside, so you can go inside and cool off. Plenty of vendors and other activities to interact with.
I just think this is so cool because it's really a couple of different events brought into one. You're incorporating touch a truck events really into this, and I just think it's so cool. And we'll take a quick break. We'll come back and talk with Randy some more about this. This is the 4th annual back to school event to give free school supplies to the first 500 students. You might want to get there early. I don't know how early, but with 800 plus there last year, it's only going to grow courtesy of Dwight and Cheryl Wards, and then the 21 vendors that you guys got. That's incredible.
Absolutely.
More conversation on this comes our way in just a couple of seconds on RiverBender.com and Roku TV.
Oh no, another bad headache? Yeah, maybe it's time to see your doctor.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including diagnosing health issues or referring you to a specialist. Schedule an appointment today.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganass Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and it will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganass Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganass Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Sweet southern woman sit on my lap. G with an O, O with a D, T with an I, and a M and a E, and a good time. Good time. I've been working.
Welcome back. 1024 back with Randy, OSF Healthcare, chatting it up about the 4th annual back to school event. This is really cool. Gives free school supplies to the first 500 students. So, So what does it come with the backpack, or is it just papers, pens, and all, and the pencils and crayons and all the other really cool things?
Yeah, it's a drawstring bag.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we'd love to give a backpack there,
Honestly,
but that could be a budget breaker for me. But
you don't need the backpack. The drawstring's where it's at. You know, I started because I was a backpack kid for a long time, but in high school I realized the drawstring, it's more functional.
It is, yeah. And so, I mean, and whether it's the kids that use it in other ways or even the parents.
I love it, man.
Yeah, you can get a lot of mileage out of it.
I mean, think about all this stuff. I mean, you're getting all these things that really do set you up for the school year. And I mean, and it could be, like you said, there's so many different events that are similar to this, but there's always that 500, max or, 200 or what. So, I mean, to be able to provide maybe for a student who missed out on one already or just needs a little bit more to get started. I mean,
absolutely. And I just want to be clear on this. This isn't just for Alton School District kids. This is throughout the Riverbend. I mean, whether you're in Bethalto, you're in Edwardsville, Wood River, East Alton, Godfrey, Jerseyville, it's open to the public. And then, last year, we were talking off air. We're setting up. We start set up at 8:00 and we start right at 10. And we had people start showing up at 8:30.
That's wild.
And so the line was so long. Our registration tent is set up right outside the main entrance to OSF Rehab. And the line snaked around the fence that holds in the dumpsters. And so we're trying to set up, and every now and then we're taking a peek and see how long the line is. And whether we're inside or outside, setting up, getting ready, we're people, all of us mission partners saying, have you seen the line? It just keeps growing, and it's amazing. And that's, we haven't even started the event yet, and we're all excited and hyped up, and it's absolutely awesome to see that.
Well, I mean, last year you can still see the article on RiverBender if you just Google. I mean, just seeing some of the pictures, man, everyone was happy and having a good old time with it, and it's really cool to see parents and stuff out there too, and really enjoying it with their kids. They aren't just going and picking something up. You can make an event out of this.
Yeah. And so exactly, and we're if there are other agencies or businesses who want to get involved, there's still time. And so you can go on RiverBender.com, check out the article. My email is on there. Just send me an email, and we can chat and we'll get you set up. So
it's great. 10 a.m. till noon. And, it probably wouldn't be bad to get there, a little early. Probably, not, I don't know how early. Don't get a tent out.
You can if you want to.
If you really want to. But, I mean, this is what I think's so cool, though, is it really showcases what your guys' mission statement is at OSF. And that's to be a true community partner. I mean, you guys are at everything. And to do your own event, too, in partnership, like we can't take away enough of what Dwight and Cheryl and talk about it, how their contributions. But I mean, to really provide this has got to be just something that hits a home run with everybody at OSF.
It does. Our mission, serving with the greatest care and love.
Yeah.
It's in everything we do, whether it's on our hospital campus or in our doctor's offices or out in the community. It is our mission, and that's what motivates and inspires us every day. And this is not to pat ourselves on the back, but there's been interest with other OSF facilities in kind of copying our event. Because, I mean, after 4 years, you kind of have a blueprint.
Oh, yeah.
And so the first year is always the toughest. But then after that, you see what works, you see what you can improve on. And so, and that's what we try to do every year. We mixed it up this year. Instead of a hot dog lunch, it's a pizza lunch. We have 5 first-time vendors, which is awesome.
Yeah, it is.
And those individuals pretty much were just, some of our mission partners were out and about, and they heard about this, and they said, hey, can we get involved? There's still time. Absolutely. They literally called or sent me an email. I'm like, you're in.
I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and now I'm also reading in this that there's going to be some prize and gift basket raffles.
Yeah.
Is this a thing?
Absolutely.
I'm nosy.
Last year, no, that's fine. Be as nosy as you want. We probably, memory, somewhere between 20 and 25 raffle baskets.
Wow.
And then there's other, we give away some prizes and other stuff at some of the vendor tables and whatnot. So absolutely, you can come for the school supplies or just have some fun, but you can also win stuff.
Yeah.
But you have to be present to win. That makes it easy. Otherwise, we're calling people. You know, there's been times it's been up to 2 weeks we've been trying to get a hold of people.
Well, and I can't write numbers to save my life. You'd be calling 45 phone numbers looking for me.
I understand. But we would stop at that second phone number.
That's more than fair. And then some interactive activities are going to be there too. So like face painting, things like that? Or?
Face painting, balloon animals, but then also, again, from the vendors. We want our vendors to provide something informational as well as entertaining. And so whether it's, a hospital department or it's some of our other vendors, again, like, First Mid-America Credit Union or Centerstone or, Hainer Library. The other thing, and I failed to mention this, so I'm glad I remembered, Lewis and Clark's dental hygiene program, they come out.
Yeah.
And they're one of the more popular. I mean, they're all popular, but they provide a great service. The dental hygiene students are gaining experience, hands-on experience, and some of our kids are coming in. I don't want to say screenings, but there's some interaction there where they're teaching them about dental hygiene. Yeah. Not just the kids. It's for the adults as well.
Well, that program really is a good one. I mean,
absolutely.
They do so many dental, giveaways in a way where they're doing like veteran work.
I think so. I don't want to speak for them, but I think
it's really cool.
They show up, the program leaders, and then the students, they are so gung-ho when they get on site.
No kidding.
Oh, yeah.
That's really cool.
Absolutely.
Well, and if you're just tuning in, we've been chatting it up for a little bit of time now. The 4th annual Back to School event is scheduled for August the 2nd, 10 a.m. until noon. I believe we can be down there, and I might be giving you a live show. Awesome. I think I'm going to. And I every time I say I am, though, something happens. So it's just, let's say I think, and then we'll talk to the video team after the show. This is really cool. It's 10 a.m. until noon. It's on the second floor of the mall, Alton Square Mall, and it's right under that OSF sign. Just walk right into those doors.
Exactly. Correct? Yeah, well, our registration tent is will be right outside the main entrance to the OSF rehab office. There we'll have stuff outside and then stuff on both levels on the inside right there. Looking forward to it. It's always a great day.
Absolutely. And, like I said, this is really great from Dwight and Cheryl Wirtz and Wirtz Welding and Tank Service. And really just an opportunity for you and the first 500 students to walk away with paper, pens, pencils, crayons from ages 4 to 12. And remember, this event just keeps growing. So, get there early if you really need to and be a part of the free lunch that's being provided from Little Caesars. You can't go wrong. Yeah. I'm a big Little Caesars guy. I'm just going to be honest with you. But anyway, Randy, it's always great talking with you. Now, for the first time on camera and screen and microphone.
I don't have to yell through the glass anymore.
We'll link everything in a write-up on RiverBender.com. Make sure you're out there. We'll see you there August the 2nd, 10 a.m. until noon at Alton Square Mall for the 4th annual Back to School event for free school supplies for your students as you start the new year.
Attila Fest is coming to Alton Amphitheater on July 26th. Presented by D. Smith Promotions, hosted by Reason to Doubt Podcast. Don't miss your chance to see Big Boogie and Boozy Badass live on stage with special guests Dirty Muggs, Borderline, Marquise Knox, and NKG Band. For VIP and slots, call Queen at 314-967-8999. Attila Fest. Don't miss it.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone, and over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back. 10 o'clock in the heart of the 618, downtown Alton. Sydney's going to join us here in a couple of minutes. My apologies if you guys keep hearing the drilling. It's pretty loud, Sydney. My apologies if you guys are hearing all that drilling and they're doing work to the building, and we weren't supposed to deal with like the construction during the show and throughout the workday. So for all of you that are like, man, this is tough today, we'll get through this together. Hey, top of the hour news now. Here's what you need to know. It's the 10 o'clock hour rolls around the 618. State Senator Erica Harris is partnering with the Illinois State Treasurer's Office to host an iCash event this Thursday. That's today. It'll be at the Maryville Community Library from 3 to 6. Residents are invited to attend to find out if they have unclaimed property and receive help with filing claims. And since 2015, iCash events have returned more than $2 billion, wow, to Illinoisans, covering them and covering items like forgotten bank accounts, uncashed checks, insurance payments, stocks, and safe deposit box contents. The event provides an important opportunity for locals to reclaim their lost assets. Registration is currently open for the Junior Explorers Youth Football Program through July 15th, targeting 5th through 8th graders in the upcoming school year. The Alton-based program focuses on teaching football fundamentals while encouraging fun and flexibility, allowing participants to engage in other sports or activities year-round. Practices start in early August, with games running from September to late October as part of the Southwestern Illinois Youth Football Conference. Junior Explorers coach Matt McLeod highlights the emphasis on skill development, safety, and personal growth with no experience necessary. Registration is $150 and includes all equipment and uniforms. Families can register online or via the team's Facebook page. Also in the news, the Alton Police Department and Madison County State's Attorney's Office have been making significant progress in the investigation into the July 4th homicide of 17-year-old Shabrea Hudson. On July the 8th, authorities arrested 20-year-old Tamadre Bollinger, who now faces 2 counts of first-degree murder and aggravated discharge of a firearm charge. Additionally, 44-year-old Brashonda DeCauley was charged with obstructing justice and subsequently released per arrest warrant terms. The police department is continuing to work tirelessly with prosecutors to ensure that all involved are held accountable. Chief Ford emphasized the team's dedication to justice for the family, and we'll keep you updated when more details do emerge. Let's take a look at weather, shall we? It is 82 degrees in downtown Alton, and it feels like 97 out there. Today, mostly sunny with a thunderstorm in spots this afternoon, and tonight, mainly clear and humid. Air quality, grass levels, mold, ragweed, and tree levels are all in the good to low index still, so nothing to worry about there. Temperatures reach 90 degrees today and drop down to 71 overnight as we still have thunderstorms throughout the day. On Friday, partly sunny with thunderstorms in spots in the afternoon, plus Friday night, a thunderstorm in spots in the evening, otherwise mainly clear and humid. Temperatures reach 93 degrees tomorrow and drop down to 72 overnight as we head into Saturday. On Saturday, a high of 84, a low of 70. Now clouds and sun, not as hot, breezy and the morning on Saturday. Then heavy thunderstorms are predicted. Humid. The thunderstorms can bring hail and damaging wind gusts because of all the humidity in the air as well. So keep an eye out for that. Then on Saturday night, a stray thunderstorm in the evening with clouds breaking, and it will be humid. 84 degrees on Saturday, 70 for the low. On Sunday, a high of 83, a low of 69. And then on Monday, a high of almost 90, 89 degrees, and a low of 70. That's a look at the next 5 days. Here's what's happening now, my friends. It's 10:03 in the heart of the 618. It's 82 degrees, and it feels like 97 out there. We'll take a quick break, come back, talk with Sydney, and get this Thursday wrapped up right here on our daily show. You stay there, and I'll be here on RiverBender.com, Roku TV. Now a shot of downtown.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh-made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
Have a rash, pink eye, or urinary tract infection and need care now? OSF On-Call Urgent Care is here to treat you. Start a virtual visit 24/7, whenever and wherever you need it. It's just that easy. osfoncall.org/virtual visit.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
We only got a few moments until the drilling starts, so we better get the quiet time in now. Sydney, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you, CJ?
Well, I would be better if my migraine would go away, but whenever you have the rattling of power tools into a damn microphone that causes a frequency in my headphones, I feel like I'm honestly like in an experiment right now.
Yeah, you're kind of like one of those rats that they like.
Oh, that's true.
They like torture a little bit and see what happens. Yeah.
So I'll probably be on channel 11 later on the news.
Fingers crossed you. Well, if it happens, here's hoping RiverBender gets it first.
That's
How about that?
There you go.
There you go.
So you wrote about your love of writing about nonprofits and communities organizations.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So this time around, I wrote about just how much I enjoy writing about the community and talking to community members and hearing.
God dang it! That was the last sip of that drink.
That was
too.
unfortunate. Yeah, that was unfortunate. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, just how great it is to talk to nonprofit leaders and that kind of thing and hear from the stuff that they're doing.
Well, and honestly, it's one of those things that I think that you and I both share a love for that too, because there's a lot of great nonprofits around, and honestly, some great just organizations that do really cool stuff that don't really have the time to let people know about it too.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They're so busy helping people that they don't have the time to market necessarily, and so that's what we're here for to do, is to help promote promote their events or whatever else they have going on. And it's cool too, because I'll learn about a nonprofit via your show or via just scrolling on Facebook or whatever, and I'll discover a new one or a new to me one or whatever. And it just is fascinating. People doing the coolest things in our community. So it's so neat.
Well, and you did some really cool stuff. I do remember your Riverbend Resources series. That was interesting.
Thanks for remembering. Yeah, we're working on that and bringing it back. But
Are you?
I took a little bit of a hiatus just because other things were coming up and it was hard to find the time for it. But yeah,
You were given. I don't know why it said getting given. I do get
Kinda
paid to
catchy.
speak for a leg. That's a shirt, getting
There
given.
we go. Yeah.
I don't know what it means, but we can print it. You were given a lot of work pretty quickly.
I was busy. No, and that's a good thing. Again, that means good things are happening. But yeah, my Riverbend Resources article, it's like Riverbend Resources if you ... experience domestic violence
Yeah.
or struggle with addiction or have experienced food insecurity or, whatever else. And I'm always looking for other experiences to like highlight too. So again, if anyone has any ideas or anything they want to see highlighted, Sydney, spelled like the city in Australia, SYDNEY, Sydney at RiverBender.com.
Her email does work.
It does, believe it or not.
It
I
does.
do receive emails and respond to them even sometimes. So
What was your first or not first, but what's your favorite nonprofit so far?
oh, that's a hard
Or story.
question.
I know it is.
Why would you do that to
Because
me?
you know what? I feel like after the mental abuse that I just went through for the last hour, I might as well put you in the firing
That's
line a
fair.
bit. You know.
You got me there. Well, okay. Well, I have a soft spot for the overnight warming location because I spend some
You
time
volunteer there,
I
don't
do,
you?
which is great. So big shout out to them. I think they're doing great work. And I'm happy to be a part of that every winter. But other than that, I also every time I get to write about like Oasis Women's Center, that's like awesome.
You did a good job covering her passing. I mean,
Thank
that
you,
was
Margaret
really
Duchel.
sad. Yeah, that was a
too
sad
bad.
day.
Yeah, she's a great person, and yeah, the executive director. She passed away a couple of weeks ago, and so, my condolences to her loved ones. But she did some incredible work in the community, and it was just it was a good opportunity to highlight not only her but the work she did, and also just what Oasis is doing in general. I think it's incredible what they're up to. So that Metro East Every Survivor Counts. That's a great organization in Wood River out of RFM, Riverbend Family Ministries. They're working with survivors of sexual violence to support them, and they even meet survivors in the emergency room. They will come to the emergency room and advocate for you, which is so amazing. So yeah, just
That's interesting. I didn't know about that one.
start reading my articles.
That's true. That's true.
I'm just kidding.
No,
But
you're right.
It's incredible work that like throughout the community, there's just incredible work going on. So it's just a real gift to be able to highlight these people.
Honestly, it really is, and it's one of those things where we have so many great assets and resources that we
Yeah.
just don't know about. I think, and that's really where it is, because it's not like every once in a while, a nonprofit will get a grant for advertising, but that's pretty, that's sprinkled
Yeah.
in, and that's throughout a lot of other things just to get the word out on. So to be able to promote them and put them on a platform is a good thing.
Well, for sure. And I love when you have nonprofits in here. Like I know you have Foster's Light in the Dark coming in soon and that kind of thing. And that's just other great work.
She has a great story.
She has an incredible story. And I talk to people sometimes, and I say this sometimes, but I talk to a lot of folks that are going through something tragic. That just is the nature of the job. Like there are people who have experienced some kind of tragedy, and it is incredible when these people take this tragedy and they make it into something positive like that. And it just is. They have my utmost respect, and so it just is incredible and an honor to be able to really highlight these folks and highlight these community members who are doing great things in our community.
Did you think it would be hard to get the stories?
What do you mean?
Like at first, whenever you first started writing, like, did you think it'd be hard to get the contact or get the phone call going and all that? Like, was there ever any difficulty in that, or did it kind of just go easy for you?
That's interesting. I don't know. It's people ask me sometimes, like, do you get assigned stories or do you come up with them yourself? And the answer is kind of a combination of things. So some stories just our content director, Dan Brandon, he'll tell me about and say, hey, can you cover this? And I'll do that happily. But a lot of the times too, I get kind of the freedom to go and find my own stories, which is really cool. So, just to answer your question, just scrolling on Facebook is what I do a lot of the time. And that is how I find a lot of organizations and groups that are doing some really incredible work around here. And so it's not hard to find it's not hard to find people who are doing great things, you know?
Right.
Does that make sense?
100%.
Yeah.
And really, you're 1,000% right about that.
Yeah.
It's just taken, because I think a lot of times too, like, I love the way that you guys do your news, because it's not trying to draw a fire when there shouldn't be a fire drawn, you know? And so, like, to be able to take the time and, you know, reach out about those stories. Like the one that I thought was great was the Facebook post that went nuts, but we did the story on the guy that's going to have his birthday party coming up here soon.
Yeah, that's a great story.
And it's things like that where I'm like, you know, I would much rather read that than go in depth over a criminal and some crime that was committed, because, like, I want to be informed on those. But I would much rather, if I had to choose, read a positive, uplifting story, because there's so many of them, like, seriously, in town.
Well, and I'm lucky that I get to write a lot of those. I'm very lucky I get to write a lot of stories about, like the nonprofits and the organizations that are doing great work. And it just is a little bit of, like, it's heartwarming, but it also, like, lifts me up a little bit and reminds me that, like, this work is, like, really worthwhile, you know? I'm not a doctor. I faint at the sight of blood. I'm not an attorney that can advocate for people who are struggling. But what I do
Says you
is
cry
write.
when you argue.
I do a little bit. I do cry a little bit when I argue. But what I can do is write, and, you know, I can sort of write. And I want to be able to use that for good, basically. So that's kind of what I try to do with these stories.
I love it. That's good.
Thanks.
Keep up the good work,
I
Sydney.
appreciate that.
Now, I gotta ask you this. Can you take a quick break with me?
Absolutely.
We'll come back and we'll chat up a little bit more with Sydney, and we'll have some fun as this Thursday rolls around. By the way, man, I have never been more nervous to get into a damn building today.
Dude.
I've done a lot of I haven't done a lot of dumb things lately, actually, for quite a long time. So I feel, I'm looking in the windshield type of thing, not looking in the rear view.
Love that for you.
But man, like, it was just like a flashback. I'm like, I've seen this site before.
Yeah, that was a little alarming.
There's some training going on today, so if you guys saw a bunch of people getting geared up, it wasn't because they were taking me out of here.
No,
it was
believe
just,
it or not.
It was just because of some
training. But no, it was a little nerve-wracking to come in and see the cars and all that.
Well, and too, I think it's good to let people know that, just because with the state of the environment lately, about and not just making it, but people always send in photos and go, oh, look, there's an active scene here when there's not necessarily one. So good to let them know that it's just a training day, training day. I'm still safe. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back with Sydney for a little bit. I'm debating if I play the Puddle of Mud interview today or if I do that, because Friday, here's what happened. I booked way too many guests again. I do this all the damn time, where I'll have a normal show for 4 days and then I'll have like 6 guests on Friday.
You get busy sometimes.
Well, it's my stupidity. I'm doing it to myself. I don't know why I just don't say, well, it's booked already. I'm like, we'll just bump this guy to 9:40. We'll do 10 o'clock here, and then we'll do 10:10 here, and then we still got a 10:35, I think. So I don't know. Let me check. We'll check during the break.
We'll
I don't
come
want
back, and we'll. You know what we can do? We can, during the next segment area, we can like plan out your show for the next few days. Because I know you need me. I'm just kidding. You don't need me at all. You got
I'm
this.
just debating. I'm like, do I surprise you all with the Wes Scantlin interview today? It's a great one.
That sounds awesome. I look forward to hearing it.
Yeah, we'll find out. We'll take a quick break, come back with Sydney, and have some more fun right after this in the heart of the 618.
Oh no, another bad headache? Yeah. Maybe it's time to see your doctor.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including diagnosing health issues or referring you to a specialist. Schedule an appointment today.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganess Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and it will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganess Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganess Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
With over over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Well, somebody told me you had a boyfriend who looked like a girlfriend that I had in February of last year. It's not confidential, I've got potential. Ready, let's roll on to something new.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Sitting back in the studio. Blog Talk, doing the good work of writing about some great people.
Well, then that's what it's all about, is just to tell the stories. And most of these people like that I talk to, like the executive directors of these nonprofits and stuff like that, like these are their babies, you know, like they care about these nonprofits. Like these are absolutely like their children. And so for them to trust me to tell those stories is just an honor. So happy to be here and do it.
Well, and honestly, thank you for all the writing you do for us, because man, it's been a full week of staying in the top 3%.
You've been busy,
full week of the top 3% in the world.
Look at you go.
Yep.
Very impressive.
But, you actually help make the show.
No.
You do, because you write the articles.
Well,
like Barry Manilow writes the song. He writes the songs. That was a song. Okay.
I got you.
Okay. Didn't know if you heard that one with Dawn.
We got there.
Okay. So you've helped write and work hard to write articles to help other people. And during like the winter months and stuff, you really do a lot to make sure about the overnight warming locations and their needs. Is there any, if you could pick a handful that you'd want them to know about today, what are some that you're like top of mind? I know you mentioned some earlier with Al and some of the, is there any others that come to your mind that you're like, man, these are good ones, we need to do follow-ups?
Ooh, I don't know. I think everything with Riverbend Family Ministries is pretty impressive. So
yeah, they're great.
Big shout out to them. Yeah, I know you had Tammy and Rachel on the show not too long ago, and they were doing great work too. So shout out to those guys. All around, big shout out. I know, like we said, Foster's Light in the Dark is coming on soon, which will be great. I just spoke to Locust Street Resource Center up in Carlinville, which is a group that is doing mental health support for folks, including a 24-hour crisis diversion walk-in clinic, which is really cool. So big shout out there. There's all kinds of people around here doing incredible work, and Cinderstone's not a nonprofit, but we can give a shout out to Cinderstone, because they're doing incredible work in general as an organization and helping out a lot of folks in our community. So those are some topics that are very important to me. So sexual violence, mental health, those kind of things are just, I've always written about those kind of things. So I think that seeing, these organizations that are doing work to help folks and survivors in our community, that's incredible.
Now, did you realize that you'd be volunteering for these groups after you write about them?
Well, I got lucky a couple of times. Here's the thing. You can only write about something so many times before you're like, okay, I have to go check it out myself. And that's what happened both times that I went out and volunteered with, I volunteered with Hope Animal Rescues and the overnight warming location. And I was like, you know what? I need to go see these things for real and go see what's going on.
Oh, yeah, you toured Hope. How was it?
I did. That was incredible. Yeah. So big shout out to Hope Animal Rescues too, because they're doing incredible work to helping dogs that are on the euthanasia list to get out of the into the shelter and survive and get adopted into families. So that was a really incredible. Big shout out to them. So that was great, and I'd love to go back and actually do some cleaning. I did a little bit of cleaning when I was there, but I'd like to actually get my hands dirty and pet some dogs and hang out a little bit. So this is me challenging myself.
Did you just sleep in Heavenly Peace too?
I didn't. No, I haven't done much with them yet. So that's one that I need to learn more about, because I know that they're doing incredible work for the community. All God's Children Shall Have Shoes, I think is what it's called, is one too, that they do great work and give shoes to kids around the back to school time. And that's pretty great. And I just love it all. I love hearing these people that are doing incredible work. So
well, and it's just, right now, if you look at our top viewed stories, they're all they're all terrible and sad. And that's why it's good whenever you get a good, feel-good story that's also a call to action that helps that nonprofit. It's great to see those in the trending, too, because, there's seriously so much good around here. It's just sometimes, the bad always outweighs the good when it comes to, the human talk box, and all that
Yeah, the
stuff.
headlines. People want to know what's going on, which is completely understandable.
Oh, God,
but, it's great when we can throw in a story that just has some positivity to it. And so whether you are reading these stories because you want to help or because you need help or whatever your situation is, it just is great knowing that these organizations are out there and doing work out here that is affordable or free or, whatever their situation is. They are helping the community, and the community is receiving and giving back by contributing to these organizations. So I don't know. It just makes me happy. I just wanted to talk about that this week.
I'm glad you did.
Thank you.
I'm glad you talk about things that make you happy.
I appreciate that.
I talk about things that kind of grind my gears a lot on this show.
Well, again, you're reading some of the sad stories, so it gets you going.
Speaking of that, grinding, we haven't had any grinding sounds in the last 25 minutes.
You just absolutely jinxed yourself. I don't know why you would have said that.
Man, that was a rough hour.
Yeah, that was kind of a rough hour.
Well, and then I feel bad because I do on a Zoom interview, and I know he can hear it.
Yeah.
And he's just being nice and not saying nothing.
That
but
was
it's okay.
So shout out to
Dustin Terry.
Yeah.
He's the last year's champion of the F1.
I look forward to
that'll
writing
be a
about
fun
him.
story. I think that'll be
great. I'm in touch with Tim Siebold about getting some profiles of some of the racers this year. So
That's
I'm
what
excited
we're doing.
about that. Yeah, that'll be fun.
Going hand in hand right now.
We're working together.
Look at that.
Yeah.
One step at a time. Keeping the youth of RiverBender.com going.
Absolutely. The under 30 section. We're going. So
we can do our own 30 under 30.
There
are
we
only
go.
two of us. There's
us.
3. We got Ashley and Brand. Oh, 4.
We got a few.
4.
Yeah.
We got 4.
That's
How about
pretty
that? Is
impressive.
Dalton under 30?
I think so. Shout out Dalton.
There we go.
So,
5. Look at that.
Look at
the
us
youth
go.
is alive and well at RiverBender.com. With that being said, so when can we stay tuned for your Riverbend resources?
It's coming. It's coming soon. I have a bunch of other ideas and things that I want to write about, and it just is, getting the time to do that because there are a million other pressing things that come up, every day too, which is great because that means that great things are happening in the community. But I really want to get going back on the Riverbend resources stories. And again, if you have any suggestions or ideas, or if you have a nonprofit out there that you want to spread the word about, Sydney, spelt like the city in Australia, SYDNEY, Sydney at RiverBender.com. Email me, let me know what's going on, and we'll get a story out. It'll be good.
There you go. Working on any good ones this week?
Yeah, so I went to the Jersey County Fair last night, which was very fun. Lots going on. So I went and saw the pageant, and so we got a couple of stories. You're going to meet the Little Miss Jersey County Fair Queen and Miss Jersey County Fair Queen, which both I can tell you right now are very nice people because I met them last night. So
there you go.
We'll get 2 stories out about that and this morning, and then everything else going on. There's a couple.
We
of
were
fundraisers.
talking about the the pageant last year on the show, and there's a lot that goes into being Little Miss and Miss Jersey County. I mean, there's a lot of stops along the way throughout the year.
You do a lot, yeah. I've never done a pageant before, so I can't speak to it. But they do a lot of work throughout the year and go to a lot of fairs and parades and that kind of thing. And I think they have a lot of fun. But it seems like a lot of fun, but it also seems like a lot of work.
Have you
so
seen
shout
Bad
out.
Grandpa?
I actually haven't. No.
What? Oh my God! Are you kidding me?
Is there a pageant?
Yes.
Really?
Johnny Knoxville when he's Bad Grandpa, and that's one of the ending scenes is he has to win some money. He wants to win some money, so he puts his grandson in the beauty pageant.
That's funny.
And
I should check that
puts
out.
a wig on, and then they have their own dance.
There we go. I should check that out. That
Pour
sounds
Some
pretty
Sugar
good.
on Me by Def Leppard.
That's a good song. It's a good song. That's pretty exciting.
The horror on the faces of the people that were there. Some of them paid actors, I'm sure.
Yeah, hopefully most of them.
Others not.
While I'm here, I want to...
Okay, this is scary.
Just really quick, I want to shout out, and forgive me for pulling out my phone, but Shabria Hudson, just passed away a couple days ago, and I want to shout out that she has, there's a fundraiser coming up for her, and there's a couple of fundraisers. One is today from 12 to 5 p.m., July 10th, which is today. All haircuts are $10, and all proceeds will be donated to her family.
Where's that?
That's at Oakwood Center.
Okay.
And then also later on, I believe it's Sunday, and a story is forthcoming, so you will be able to see this on RiverBender.com later today too. But on Sunday, there is also a fundraiser, fish sandwiches, $10.
I saw that.
Yeah, we wrote about that already once, but I'm gonna put out something else again today. And that's at Oakwood Center as well. So yes, just wanted to, while we're here, just wanted to say those things. Those are opportunities to help a family that could use some help.
Yeah, I feel so bad for them. My heart breaks for them,
it's
truly.
sickening. So yeah, just if you can do anything, if you can go out or if you can donate, that'd be wonderful.
100%. Sydney, thanks for all you do to cover all that stuff.
Thank you.
And we'll take a quick. Now, here's what we'll do.
Let's hear it.
Oh, damn it.
Oh no.
Hold on.
An empty drawer.
Not so empty drawer.
You got what you needed.
Heads for the West Scotland interview today, tails for tomorrow. Okay. We're going to see what we can do here. Up. Tomorrow.
What's going to happen now?
I don't know. We got such a busy show. I think that, you know what? I might come back with it.
Yeah.
I think that's what we might do.
See what's going on.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
I think that we're going to come back with I mean, I already told people it was going to be on Friday. And
so you're just surprising everybody.
I'm
which
throwing
is great.
out the surprises. Hey, let's do that now. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back with Puddle of Mud frontman Wes Scantlin. And there's like some good stories in there.
I look forward to hearing it. It sounds like
we
it's
had
gonna
a
be
good
fun
time.
show.
It was seriously a good
Yeah.
one. So you stay there and well, I'll be back. Kind of. I talked to Wes yesterday, so I'll be in the studio right after this.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
Attila Fest is coming to Alton Amphitheater on July 26th. Presented by D. Smith Promotions, hosted by Reason to Doubt Podcast. Don't miss your chance to see Big Boogie and Boozy Badass live on stage with special guests Dirty Mugs, Borderline, Marquise Knox, and NKG Band. For VIP and slots, call Queen at 314-967-8999. Attila Fest. Don't miss it.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
And of course, you know, we have a wonderful high standard of living as well.
Well, 100%. And just, if you could, Mayor, could you take me off a speakerphone just because we're getting some feedback into the microphone?
Yep, I got you now. Sorry about that.
No worries. And, you know, it's really just a great thing. I know that coming up is your guys' homecoming with rides, games. You got food, music, and a parade starting at 7 p.m. on Friday, July 11th and the 12th. That parade on the 12th is at 6 p.m. And, you know, when you have events like this, what's it like in your position to see the community come together?
Well, it certainly is heartwarming. One of the things that we have going on here in Maryville, which a lot of people might not even know about, is everybody who participates in our parade and the majority of the homecoming, they're all volunteers.
Wow.
And so it is just people from the community who love Maryville, who want to give back to Maryville. And the funds that are raised from our homecoming, they go to our homecoming association, and those funds are used to purchase a lot of the equipment for our fire department. So our homecoming is more than just bringing the community together for one weekend. It really is a year-round event because of all the things that the homecoming association does.
That's just incredible. And honestly, right in the thick of the summer, too, when the families can get together. And also, like you said, just the volunteerism aspect of it, to have, volunteers from, sure, all different backgrounds coming in and being a part of this. And also just kind of just celebrating the village and also just community spirit. That's got to be such an important part of just the growth that you guys have, too. And I know that, Mira, we were talking to Dawn Michelle with the Troy Chamber a couple of weeks ago, and she was saying that there's going to be a bandstand. Is that what I heard going into Maryville? Was I correct on that?
Yes, the actual term we're using is an entertainment pavilion. It's going to be somewhat similar if you're familiar with the pavilion and stage area at the Old Herald in Collinsville, and or the one that is in the town square in Highland. And yes, that should be starting construction toward the end of July, maybe early August, and we hope to have it built and ready for acts, as early as spring of 2026.
Wow. Well, and honestly, that's going to be great to see and really just kind of perfect for what you guys are doing. And just because I break the ice on every first interview, I got to tell you this story because everyone always gives me crap for it. For the longest time, there was a typo in one of my event calendar listings, and I kept calling it Furman's Park for about a year and a half and was made fun of every day. I did. So I got to apologize now that I got the mayor on the line here, just to say I am sorry for botching that for almost 22 months.
Oh, it's okay. I think we can show you some grace on that.
Well, and I'm on the village's website, Mayor, and what I think's so cool is just this community calendar you have, where there's literally so much to do for, all ages, whether or not it's like an 18 or older event or it's something for the entire family. It's really cool to see this and really just to see the efforts being put in to really provide those opportunities.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Again, it really all goes back to the volunteerism. We do have a ton of volunteer committees who come together to make these events possible. Just this last Saturday, we had our annual kayaking event at Drost Park, and we have what is essentially different kayaking organizations from around the Metro East area, even across the river. They come in and they bring the kayaks to Drost Park, and then our volunteers from our Parks and Rec and some of the trustees, we come out, and people are able to get out on the water, many of them for the first time ever in a kayak, to air quote, dip their toe in the water. And we had over 160 participants, and they ranged in age from as young as 6 all the way up to over 80 years old. So it was a wonderful event. It was the 13th annual time that we had done it, and it's just another example of how our community comes together to give back.
It's just incredible. And, it's great to hear that, too, because we actually had this conversation a couple of weeks ago about, just giving more opportunities to maybe children and parents that are maybe younger that never, experience maybe some outdoor activities like kayaking and fishing and all these important aspects of life. And I just think it's really cool that you guys do that, especially with this. I saw that I wanted to ask you a little bit more about, if it's okay. And that's the backpack blowout that's coming down the pipeline August the 2nd from 8 a.m. to noon. This is really cool.
Yeah, again, I mean, what we're doing there is everything that we can to try to help kids to get their school supplies. And, what can we say? I mean, there's so many people that are in need, and we have the opportunity to give back. And so we really encourage everybody to come out, and if you're able to, help us out, because we want to make sure that all the kids are ready for the school year.
Absolutely. And then I also, how has the summer concert series been going for you guys?
Well, so far so good. We really haven't got too much on the radar as of yet, because we've had all of our other events going on, but they're about to kick off. We do have another, thing here in town that many people don't know about, but we have our farmers market every Thursday. and that's at Fireman's Park in Maryville. And during the farmers market, we have live music at all those events as well, and that's from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. every Thursday.
And that's really cool. And guys, if you're ever looking to say, CJ, how do we get to Fireman's Park? It's 300 North Donk Street, and you can just type that into your calendar. What I also think is cool is you have all the information, like the event sponsor information on how to reach out and learn more for all of you guys at the Village of Maryville's website, and you just click on the community calendar. It's a really great feature. And Mayor White, how since you've been in office, take me through just what you've been able to see in terms of growth and in terms of just overall success in Maryville.
Well, my tenure has been very short, to be honest with you. I only got elected 2 months ago.
Right.
However, I was a trustee here in Maryville for 6 years prior to being elected mayor. Mm-hmm. So, we have seen some substantial growth in terms of our more residential here in Maryville. We have some of the most beautiful homes in the entire Metro East, I would say. Our parks are absolutely beautiful. But we are starting to move more towards some economic development. We hope our business district runs right down Route 159. Everybody's familiar with it because we have the best frozen custard in planet Earth and Bobby's.
That's right.
and it's funny because no matter where I go in the country, if I say I'm from Maryville, Illinois, people might kind of look at me and I'm like, oh, but we have Bobby's, and like, oh, we know exactly what you're talking about. So, but no, we have a lot of fun stuff that it's in the hopper. Some things that are just kind of on the drawing board to develop our 159 business district. But one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is just all the infrastructure programs that are taking place here in Maryville. When things are underground, oftentimes they just go unnoticed. But infrastructure programs are every bit as vital as a business district. And right now, we're replacing our main sewer interceptor line that runs from Maryville to the treatment plant in Collinsville. And that's a project that's going to set us up for the next 50 years with a state-of-the-art sewer system. And a lot of communities don't have that. No. Not too long ago, we did major upgrades to our water treatment plant here in Maryville. And that puts us in a position that, we don't have to worry about things like that for a long period of time. So we can focus more on, our entertainment pavilion and our community events and things like that people love. Well,
and honestly, and that's what I think is so important too, because, Alton, where we're stationed, just had the sewer separation and all of those things. I mean, you hit it on the head. When we talk about growth, I think a lot of times just for, the public, me being part of it, it's, where's the next big building? And so much it's so much more important to really get the true infrastructure, the plumbing and all those important things that are done first before you build forward and build up. And Mayor White, that's what I was kind of getting at earlier, because we did the election night show and remember, knowing that you were going to be in office, but 6 years being in local government, what was that transition like, from being a trustee to, taking over as mayor of Maryville?
Well, it's been quite a learning process. Prior to, being elected mayor, I had just retired after nearly 30 years as a police officer in Glen Carbon. And so as a police officer, there was, you have standard operating procedures, you have policies, and you have procedures that you could follow. As the mayor, it really is just, learning day to day. The biggest part that I would say that I love about the job that I have is just being able to interact with people. Yeah. And this is the community I love. This is where my wife and I raised our 3 children. I'm not going anywhere. This is the town that I live in and I plan to die in. And, these are, we have a small hometown feel. And so we're able to meet the needs of our community on a day-to-day basis.
100%. Mayor White, if it's okay, can we take a quick break and keep this conversation going after I pay some bills?
You betcha.
Awesome. Hey, we'll take a quick break here. 10:36, a little bit of change. It's 78 degrees in downtown Alton. More with Mayor White, the Village of Maryville, right after this on RiverBender and Roku.
Oh no, another bad headache?
Yeah,
Maybe it's time to see your doctor.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including diagnosing health issues or referring you to a specialist. Schedule an appointment today.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop at their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and it will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
How does it feel? How does it feel to be on your own with no direction home? A complete unknown, like a rolling stone.
Welcome back. More conversation awaits us with Mayor White in the village of Maryville, and we were talking during commercial break. And Mayor White, I'm really excited to talk more about this movie in the park event that it really has become such a cool and unique thing that you guys do.
Oh, well, I certainly appreciate the opportunity to talk about it. Yes, our next movie in the park that we have here in Maryville it's just around the corner. It's going to be on Saturday, July 19th. At dusk, and it's going to be held at Drost Park in Maryville. And what we do is we have a giant movie screen that gets set up. Actually, it's brought in by the owner of Edison's, and it's all HD. And the movie is going to be Moana 2. And so it's obviously a family-friendly movie, and it's free to the public. Just bring your lawn chairs. We provide Bobby's ice cream. We provide popcorn, and we're going to have a blow-up inflatable obstacle course for the kids to play at. And it's really what we're trying to do is bring back that spirit of the family drive-in, except we're doing it on a little bit smaller scale, but we're making it free to all families.
This is really cool. And for the folks that maybe can't make the 19th, I see that the 26th, you have Inside Out 2 at Movie in the Park. That last Saturday, I believe, of July.
Exactly. And yeah, the movies, they start at dusk, and so they're not too late that the kiddos can't stay up for the whole thing. And again, that's another family-friendly movie, Inside Out 2. And what we want to do is just really, bring family and communities together. And this is an opportunity for us to do that. It's all put on by our Parks and Rec Committee, and we just have the best volunteers of any community in the area, I would say. I mean, the village of Maryville could not function without our volunteer committees. And these people, they give their time, they give all of their effort for no pay whatsoever. And, you just really have to appreciate that.
Well, and that's what I think so cool, just hearing you discuss this a little bit and talking about the volunteers. I mean, that's something that not a lot of communities are blessed with. And it's the love where you live mentality that's really shining through.
That's spot on. Maryville, as I said before, we are just a family community. And, many of the people who live here in Maryville now, well, their parents lived in Maryville before them, and their parents lived in Maryville before them, because it's such a great town. People want to stick around, and they want to give back, whether it be through the Homecoming Association, the wonderful parade that we have at the homecoming, all the community events, as I stated before, like the movies in the park and our fishing derby that we have in the fall, our kayaking event that we have. It goes on and on and on. And if you don't mind, there's actually one other hidden gem I'd like to talk about.
Please do.
So many people don't know, but we actually have a wonderful museum right here in Maryville.
Wow.
It's our Maryville Heritage Museum, and it's open from 10 a.m. until noon on Saturdays, and it's what was the original fire station here in Maryville, and it's right down the street from Fireman's Park. A lot of people know one of our local establishment, Lyle's, and it's nestled in between Lyle's and the fire station, and the museum is just loaded with history of Maryville. And again, it's a volunteer committee that people just, they pour their hearts into it, but it really is like a time capsule of Maryville from the inception of the town all the way through the year 2025.
That's really cool. And honestly, we just pulled up the website, MaryvilleILmuseum.com, and just taking a look at it. This is really just such a unique, number one, a unique site, but also just to learn more about your guys' history, and really it's our region's history. This is really a unique experience.
Well, I appreciate that. Yes, it is. And I would encourage everybody, if you have the opportunity, come and visit the museum. There's some special hours for the museum the weekend of homecoming. So right now it's open the first and third Saturdays of each month from noon until 2. Sometimes they actually open it from 10 a.m. to noon as well. It depends on what day, how the volunteers can do it. Mm-hmm. But the weekend of homecoming, we actually have special hours. And so we would encourage everybody to come out, check it out. It's really an opportunity for people to gain the history and learn the history of Maryville. And there's just some really, really neat stuff in there. Everything from our incredible tradition of baseball players that we've had here in Maryville to our veterans and our school buildings, our fire department. Most people probably know that Maryville was actually founded as a mining town. There was the Donk Mines that sustained the majority of the people of this community. And so there's so much of the history of the Donk Mines in there as well.
That's real. I mean, this is just fascinating. And for more information, that website that's on your screen is MaryvilleILmuseum.com. And, going back to and just I love the pride in the history and really just being able to provide that for the community in the region. But, Mayor, I also saw this on the website, and I think this is such a cool thing. It's called the Good Neighbor Award program. And fill me in on this.
Yes, it's funny you should mention that because we're actually presenting the Good Neighbor Award, 3 of them tomorrow night at our village board meeting.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's just another opportunity to show appreciation for people who go above and beyond to be kind and do things for the village. And the way that works is one of our committees, it's the Maryville Improvement Board Committee. They came up with the idea, and if someone in the community recognizes a person who's made a substantial impact and just did something out of the goodness of their heart as a Maryville resident, they can be nominated for the award, and then the committee, they vote on it, and the awards are given out. The ones that were given out tomorrow, 2 females from our community, out of the goodness of their heart, decided to do a food drive, and they were able to raise like 6 full minivans full of non-perishable foods, and they donated it back to our food pantry. So they're going to be recognized. Another one who's going to be recognized tomorrow was a young man who did his Eagle Scout project right here in Maryville.
Wow.
He built bee hotels, and they were put up out in Drost Park next to our garden. And what they do is they attract honeybees, and those honeybees then fertilize the plants and the flowers that are in our garden. And so he did that for his Eagle Scout project. And then the last group is an actual Girl Scout group that came out and they did a cleanup project right here on our Village Hall properties. And so, yeah, we're going to recognize all those people for their good efforts, and just, you know, it's a small way of showing appreciation for people who go above and beyond.
Well, and especially for, you know, for everyone that's involved, it's great recognition, because when you're acknowledged by your community, it really does something for you. But for the young people too, to say, hey, your community's recognizing you, that's a really big incentive to stay.
I agree with you 100%. You know, there's one thing that I'm truly passionate about. It's giving a pat on the back to people who volunteer and want to do things out of the goodness of their heart, because oftentimes people who are volunteers, that they kind of go unnoticed and unrecognized, and they still give, but I think it goes a long way to just show that you really appreciate people for what it is they do.
100%. And one last thing, just because I want to make sure we ask, and maybe we can help you out today. Are you still looking for a building and zoning code enforcement assistant?
Well, yeah, we do currently have an opening and we're taking applications for another week or so. So yeah, if there's anybody out there who's got skills and talents that they think will be applicable for that type of position, please, visit our website and fill out an application, and hopefully, it'll be a good fit. There's no better place to work than the Village of Maryville.
100%. I just saw it and figured, we're already going down the gauntlet. Let's throw this one in there too. And Mayor, going back to July 11th and the 12th, this is obviously a big weekend for Maryville. And, with this being your first year in your mayoral tenure, I'm sure it's got to be exciting for you to, as always, to see this take place. Now, take me through Maryville homecoming, the Maryville Fire Department homecoming. What type of fun are we going to have here?
Oh, wow. It's going to be a great weekend. Our theme this year is Looney Tunes. And so the theme of the parade is going to be based around cartoon characters. We're always looking for more people who want to participate and, get a float in the parade that would be themed like a cartoon character. My wife and I, we're excited because we're going to be in the parade ourselves both nights. And then after the parade, which is always a wonderful event, I mean, there's just so much for families to do. Everything from carnival rides to, I'm also a member of our Maryville Kiwanis Club. We have a cakewalk that is always a big hit, because there's nothing that seems to put a smile on a kid's face quite like getting a cake after they put 50 cents down. And of course, we have all our different vendors with food and drink, and the music that we have is always outstanding. We're having Shotgun Creek one night, and then, our local hero, Scott Marlin and his group, they're going to be on the Saturday night. So, yeah, it's just, there's something for everybody at our Maryville homecoming.
Well, and honestly, Mary, this looks just like a lot of fun. And folks, if you're driving in your car, or you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts later, or watching it, July 11th, that parade on Friday night starts at 7 p.m. On Saturday, the 12th, it starts at 6 p.m. And then those Friday bands, those two, 5 to 7 p.m. And then Blue Marlin takes center stage, 8 p.m. to midnight. And man, you're right. I mean, no shortage of great music. You got the Heaton Brothers on Saturday, 4 to 6, and then the one, the only, and that's Shotgun Creek. They're playing 8 to midnight too. This is awesome.
Yes, we're like I said, we're super excited about it. And one of the reasons, as you mentioned earlier, you asked me about the entertainment pavilion, is that we have really tried hard to raise funds for our pavilion. Is so when we have our homecoming like this, and we have these great bands like Shotgun Creek, and we have Blue Marlin, and they're bringing big crowds of people in. Right now, we actually have to bring a stage in and get it set up from the outside, and then tear it down the day after. Once we get our permanent stage built, we won't have to worry about that anymore. It'll be state of the art. Everything will be right there. It'll be a permanent stage and entertainment pavilion, and it'll just make things so much easier when we have concerts in the park and our homecoming.
100%. I can't wait to see it, completed, Mayor, and really just excited to talk with you the next couple of years in your tenure and further beyond that. And is there anything else we need to discuss right now?
No, I would just say, please, if everybody has the opportunity, come out and enjoy our homecoming and all the other events that we have here in Maryville. Come visit Maryville. We are a welcoming community. We love people both who live in Maryville and people who live outside of Maryville. There's going to be a lot more great things to come in the future. If you haven't been to our town yet, well, and it's hard for me to believe that you haven't because, as I said before, we do have Bobby's Frozen Custard. But if you haven't, make sure you come and see us because we'd love to visit with you.
Oh, I was going to say one, but if you haven't, what are you doing? Come on, guys. You're making me look bad here. No, with that being said, Mayor White, it really was a pleasure talking to you. The best of luck with the homecoming. I hope everything goes well. And then if you have anything else you want to promote, just hop on the show, fill us in about Maryville. You're more than welcome to do so at any time.
Oh, thank you so much. And I just pray that everybody has a wonderful 4th of July weekend and that nobody loses any fingers or toes. Enjoy the fireworks, but from a distance. Stay safe and appreciate the fact that we live in the greatest country in the world.
1,000%. Mayor White, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, sir. You have a blessed day.
You too. We'll take a quick break. More Daily Show as we wrap up this Tuesday morning. It happens next after a longer break. Welcome back. Only a couple of seconds left for me to say goodbye to all of you. Have a great rest of your Thursday. I hope it's a good one. We'll talk to you tomorrow with a busy, busy show. Until then, try your best to stay out of jail.